is just fantastic. Captain's log. Subdates 220602.1. I've held a meeting with all senior staff and we are all in agreement. We're going to totally not falsify a few readings, reports, and absolutely no malfunctions on weapon systems caused by fatty deposits in the ocean. Much professional. We are, that. Hello everyone, welcome to the exhibition of stupid people. Before we commence, I must apologize for this visual. To those that do like visuals, I am very sorry. The reason why is because building work is taking place at my home. I do not have time to edit around that as I am required to complete this building work. So I'm making this the day before as opposed to on the day when I usually make videos. So to start, let's talk about tennis. The reason why is because one of the 4 main Grand Slams is about to get relegated to non-existence. Wimbledon is arguably the most prestigious of the 4, and because of what Wimbledon has done of late, they've gotten into trouble with the ATP, which stands for Association of Tennis Professionals, and the WTA, the Women's Tennis Association. Recently, both decided to strip the tournament of ranking points in response to their ban on Russian and Belarusian players, which in turn has led to many to boycott the competition. Now there's a reason why Wimbledon has done this. They've done this because in nearly every major sport on this planet, Russia has been excluded. Belarus as well because of Lukashenko, their dictator, who has done his very best to give the riddled with clear issues Putin a jolly good blowjob. Many people do not support individuals from being banned from competing in contests. It is a very debatable subject. I'm not going to be drawn in on it because I don't know where I really sit at the moment. But as the United Kingdom is at the forefront of providing for Ukraine, many establishments, many businesses do not want to be associated with Russia because to be associated with Russia is to become a pariah. So Wimbledon is doing what they believe is best for them. One of the more notable names considering giving it a miss is Naomi Osaka. Others though, while supporting the fact that they've been stripped of their ranking points like Novak Djokovic, has hinted that he will play at the tournament nonetheless. But this isn't where the nonsense with Wimbledon ends. You see, they've decided to take another stand, and their stand is on women's honour boards. At the end of every competition, you'll see this green board with all the winners' names on. It's a fantastic thing to see. Usually with the women, you will have Miss or Mrs. Or not anymore. They've decided to be more inclusive. The titles of Miss and Mrs. will be removed to replicate the men's boards, which actually to an extent I can understand, but others have dubbed this some woke bollocks. I think it's one of those old traditions that they've just kept hold of, especially when going forward now you're going to see a year and a name, where above for so many years you've got Miss and or Mrs. Now to go back to those boycotting or potentially boycotting, I'm going to insert Martina Navratilova, who is a legend in women's tennis, went in on Osaka, who had said that playing at Wimbledon would be more like an exhibition without ranking points, and that she would also lack the motivation if unable to boost her place in the current standings. Navratilova though decided to say it's kind of nice if you can walk away from a potential £2 million payday. Most people don't have that luxury. Further adding, I just don't understand her mentality. I would like to sit down and tell her about the history of Wimbledon. It would not even have occurred to Osaka not to play if the ranking points hadn't been taken away. But just to add one last thing, if the field at Wimbledon is a strong playing field, did what the WTA and ATP really mean anything to them? You might have some that will stand up and say, but ranking points mean more, and I can afford to not be there. But other players like Andy Murray, who have criticised Wimbledon as well, have admitted, if people turn up, your idea didn't work. So next, a Japanese man has fulfilled his lifelong ambition to become a 4-legged animal after spending 2 million yen, which is 12.5 grand, on a dog costume. The man, who goes by the name of Toko-san, commissioned an agency called Zeppet, who spent 40 days making the bespoke collie outfit. Posting photos of himself in the costume, Toko-san said, "I made it a collie because it looks real when I put it on. I thought that a big animal close to my size would be good, considering that it would be a realistic model, so I decided to make it a dog. Videos of Toko-san in his costume emerged on YouTube back in April. It shows him standing on all fours in front of a camera with a jaunty piano music playing in the background. But while some have praised the lifelike outfit as awesome, others have said it looks unnatural, with one viewer commenting, "No matter how much money you spent, you won't be a real dog." Now I'm sure many of you are now wondering, why would Toko-san spend that much money on a costume? Especially when for that money you could have bought multiple furry outfits instead, and retained your mobility. Well, it's because with those furry costumes you still just stand on your back legs unless you're into other kinks. And he, Toko-san, had given up on being a human and decided being a collie was the very best way forward. Couple questions. 1. Do you still go to work? Or are you well off enough that you don't need to? 2. When you take a dump, do you just do it in the street? And do you have to pick it up yourself? Do you get out the costume, get a doggy bag out? 3. When you've been a good boy, who rubs your belly? And 4. This one's important. Do you eat dry biscuit or wet meat? Jelly or gravy? Do let us know, these are vitally important. So next we have to go back to sports and talk about Floyd Money Mayweather, formerly Pretty Boy, a man now doing exhibition fights and making a lot of money doing it. Although his more recent one was absolutely farcical, he toyed with his opponent for every single round. The only fight worth watching was 46 seconds long, and it was Badu Jack beating the living crap out of Hani Atiyo. Mismatch or what? More recently, there have been claims that Money Mayweather is out of money, and he is broke because there are signs that his money has dwindled. When you see how much he got paid for some of his more recent fights, that would be Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao, you can go back to Oscar De La Hoya if you like, but it wasn't really much. He has made obscene amounts of money. 2 of them were over 100 million. That's what he got. Now yes, you have promoter, which he is, so he doesn't have to pay too much of that. Training, taxes, sure, it goes down a bit. But for one of those he made 275 million. Even with taxes and expenses, that man took in a stupid amount of money. And I'm very jealous of that. Can I have some, please? Now I actually want to go back and talk about his exhibition fight. It was in the United Arab Emirates, and quite frankly, it was just a cash grab, akin to his more recent £1,200 for online meet and greets. I get that time is money, but for $1,200, I don't think so, my friend. I assume this is a cameo account. You are rinsing your supporters, and there aren't many of them anyway. They only watch because they want to see you get beaten. During this fight with Don Moore, naturally the first round was meh. You feel each other out, go from there. But as things started to heat up, Floyd started calling for 3-minute rounds because, 2 minutes? Bollocks. Floyd showed off his very good reflexes that he's always had, but as anyone could have noticed, Floyd could have knocked him out at any point and solely chose not to fluff his own ego. And I get why, because he doesn't have to do anything anymore. He doesn't have to stop him, it's an exhibition match. When a commentator joked and said that Floyd was the best psychological boxer in the game because the audience was electric, Floyd heard it and said, "Yes, I am. No, you were that bored." I don't know what's more embarrassing, the clear and obvious mismatch or the fact that you're going to have another fight in the United Arab Emirates in the near future. If it's going to be Amir Khan, can you do us a favor and just knock him out? That's all I ask. Although if you two had an exhibition fight there, the money would be absolutely insane. So to our final subject, we're going to go to Mom Talk. Yes, it's rather hilarious when you hear about it, and there's a video to accompany.
Oh, do I have a story for you?
This basically groups of multiple married mom, influencer, Mormon, TikToker families have been swinging together, and it turned out really ugly. Apparently, these people have let their audience know that they actually all live very close to each other, and that's why they've had such a close relationship.
Obligatory copyright comment.
I guess due to the close proximity of certain people, some side affairs came out of it, and now there are divorces coming of it. One woman mainly broke that what would happen is they would have these big slumber parties, and if you go through their stuff on TikTok, like, you can see.
So I guess with that nugget of information, we're going to need a bit more context.
And now that we know the situation, we need to know our characters. So the person who came out and told everyone, we're gonna call her T. T's like whole shtick on TikTok is making jokes that aren't true, like that she's 50 or that she's a swinger, which now T is saying is true. Earlier this week, via Instagram story, T posted that she was actually getting a divorce from her husband, who we will call Jake. So after her divorce is confirmed, with her and Jake, she starts making TikToks about being a single mom and rumors start to go flying. Remember how we said they're Mormons? The big rumor that's going around is that T cheated on Jake with someone in the Mormon community.
For any additional context, I'm going to link some videos down below, but the part I've missed out is that Taylor basically took it too far with the Swingers Club of Mormons on TikTok. Oops. That's soft docking, right? Oops. Did someone hip thrust? Naughty. You guys are a bunch of degenerates. I find this quite, interesting. Now there is a lot more to it really, but most of it is speculative. But who is involved, who's not involved? I just thought this would be a funny way to end the video with some mom talk from TikTok. I guess this just incentivizes you to not go near the platform even further. What a shame.